Mime. Mime is a purple deer who practices the art of pantomime. He never utters a word, but if actions speak louder than words, then this silent deer never stops talking. He wishes to entertain, but instead, his annoying actions will leave you speechless. This is the prototype of Mime. He's still got the antlers, but his ears are rounded instead of pointed, and he appears to have face paint around his mouth, which looks very creepy. Mime made his debut in Mime and Mime Again in the date February of 2001. This episode shows Mime trying to cheer up a hospitalized Toothy, but only to cause more dire results. A special note about this episode is Mime's tail. You see that? Yeah, that tail constantly disappears. He had it in most of season 1 and 2, but it disappears for pretty much all the TV series, and a few episodes in season 3 and 4. It only sporadically appears. For instance, he doesn't have a tail in Wrath of Khan, but he has it in random acts of silence. Mime is dedicated to his job as a mime, so he never speaks. Ever. Seriously, he could be a drive-thru employee or try and call 911 about a house fire and still be silent out of showmanship. However, he does occasionally make a noise. Specifically, he has choked, gagged, and snored. Mime also doubles as a clown. He likes juggling, doing circus acts, rides a unicycle, and even lives in a tent. Mime. Well, mime stuff, no-brainer. But the things he mimes are actually real. They can make noises, such as in Concrete Solution, where Mime honks an imaginary horn, or even hurt others, like Petunia in I Heart You. Mime also loves peanuts. As with basically anything in this show, his love for them has caused lethal problems for himself and others. Mime is both friends and enemies with the other Happy Tree friends. But a common dynamic regarding their interactions is that Mime is a nuisance. As mentioned, his annoying actions really will leave you speechless. He's annoyed Flippy twice. Disco Bear got some serious beef with him. Lumpy was clearly annoyed by him. Mime was an actual menace in Mime to 5, and he always seems to make things worse. But he has a few friends, and such at least. Besides, everyone still loves him for his circus acts and performances. He seems to be close with both Giggles and Petunia. He's also seen with Mole a lot, and if you know anything about these two characters, you know they got a dynamic going on. Mute versus blind. As mentioned, Flippy is annoyed by Mime most of the time. In fact, Flippy seems to give Mime some of the worst deaths. We all know random acts of silence. Mime has an interesting death survival ratio. He's in the rarely survives camp, but he actually survives a surprising number of episodes. His survival rate currently sits at 35%, which exceeds the average 20% slot. As such, he has the second highest survival rate among the characters who die regularly, being only exceeded by Giggles. However, you also may notice that Mime literally only survived once in the whole internet series, that being his debut. In season 2, 3, 4, and 5, he dies in all appearances, so what gives? Well, he actually has a good track record in the TV series. For whatever reason, he's gifted with good luck. Most of these are small cameos, but he also survived 2 of his starring roles. Yes, both of them. This is unusual for the show. Most characters die in most of their starring roles, yet Mime survived both his TV series starring roles and his debut starring role. Back on the TV series, not even the characters who rarely die, so to speak, have survived all their TV episodes. Mime only actually shares his track record with Crow Marmot and Pop. Besides that, he survived most of the shorts. This includes the breaks, Kringles, and Love Bites. If that wasn't enough, I bet a lot of y'all heard about the neat pattern of Mime, having unusually quick deaths compared to others. Maybe it's because he's a mime, and his whole gimmick is that he doesn't speak, and he does the impossible and all that. Maybe that's why his deaths are so snappy. Despite that, his slower deaths are among the worst and over the top in the whole show. Like, Winged has the skin on his face ripped off, he gets burned from the inside in Double Whammy, and Random Act of Silence speaks for itself. The part where Flippy slits Mime's eye with paper actually makes me cringe. Mime is a rather niche character. While he comes off as a bit more popular than Pop, Sniffles, or Disco Bear, he doesn't hold much relevance. In the show's first favorite character poll, he ranked last. No kidding, he ranked below Crow Marmot. Meanwhile, he doesn't have much starring roles in season 1 and 2. Heck, in his few starring roles, he's more of a supporting character than anything. You could say Mime is a bit dull for that reason. But the TV series does expand on Mime's character, where he appears more often and has more character traits to his name. The TV series as a whole bothers to expand the main cast, like making Disco Bear more layered, giving Petunia OCD and all that stuff. In Mime's case, he now lives in a tent, rides a unicycle, and overall has a lot more screen time. However, he more or less went back to having a far more limiting role in the rest of the internet seasons. Most notably, he doesn't have a starring role at all, which is something only Giggles and Crow Marmot could also say. But at least he has a major appearance in Random Acts of Silence. On the bright side, it seems his popularity has grew. As in the second favorite character poll, he was a runner-up behind only Flaky, Flippy, and Nutty, which you all know are the fan favorite trio. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Both help immensely.